Evening to all. Welcome to Gooner Claude TV in association with the Bordering Bants boys. We're here to talk about a West Ham game. So Arsenal West Ham preview. Guests today, as you know, the main man himself. This is his channel. We're running from Claude. It's time to go.
Claude,
we all know him. He's not going anywhere today. Yeah, Diesel, give it a break. We've got my fellow Bansters, Sir Johnny, a.k.a. Sensei Lee, a.k.a. Bruce Lee's brother, he reckons, and Diesel, our main man as well. So let's get straight into it. We're looking at tomorrow's game. It's important. We've just come back from a good result against Portsmouth, albeit expected. It was nice the way we bounced back. I was a bit worried about how it affected us mentally. What's your thoughts on the game tomorrow? I mean, regards to lineup, etc., Claude, what do you expect to see tomorrow?
Right, tomorrow I expect to see Leno in goal. I think it'll be a back four of Bellerin on the right, Saka on the left. I think Pablo Mari and David Luiz. I think.
So you expect Mari to start tomorrow, do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he should. I think this is where it will go. I thought he had a comfortable first game. Looked assured. I know it was only League One Portsmouth, but he still looked very good. Then you got Ceballos and Xhaka in the two. The three, I think, will be Aubameyang on the left, Pepe on the right, and Ozil just behind Eddie and Nketiah. That's how I'll go. That's how I think it'll go.
That's interesting. So you think Mari's starting, and you think Eddie's going to be up top?
Yeah.
With Aubameyang on the left and Pepe on the right.
Yeah, that's how I think he'll go. I think that's what I think. The only thing he might do, he might bring Martinelli in and move Aubameyang as down the striker role. But I don't know. It depends. And Nketiah drops out. But that's the only thing I can see him changing.
Okay.
But I think one of them two that sort of option that he's going to have. Tomorrow.
Interesting. What I want to do, Claude, is go around and see what everyone's expectations are lineup-wise, and then we'll come back to you with regards to how you think will perform and what you think the result's going to be. Johnny, what do you think the lineup's going to be tomorrow, mate?
I think it's going to be pretty much the same as Claude, bar one. I think we'll do. I think Mustafi will start ahead of Mari because what he'll do, just an opinion, because Mustafi's been playing so well, he came off injured or supposedly injured last game, and he's been in full training. So would it knock his confidence if he drops him for someone who started in the FA Cup? So it wouldn't be a bad thing starting Mari. So as Claude says, he's a really good player. He looks really good. I just think Mustafi will get his place back, and we'll wait for a slip up from one of them guys before Mari starts being a regular.
Is it Marie or Mari? There's a question for you. I keep saying Mari, Pablo Mari, but yeah.
I think it's Mari, isn't it? Mari.
I think so. So you think it's too soon for Arteta to take a chance with Mari at the back?
No, I don't
despite his performance.
I think it's just that it's a situation where it's a bit of a pickle for him, because the fact is it was a really decent display in the FA Cup away against Portsmouth, but the problem he's got is he going to drop a player that he's worked so hard with, that's been playing so probably arguably one of our best defenders over the last 4 or 5 games? Is he going to drop him because he came off injured and just blow his confidence out of the water? I'm not so sure. But
okay,
if he doesn't start Mustafi, then obviously, as Claude said, it's not a bad thing either way.
Interesting comments in our chat so far. People talking about the coronavirus. Don't know if he's playing tomorrow, Corona. But Diesel, yeah, he's not bad. He's deadly, I've heard. But there you go. Diesel, what do you reckon, mate? What's your starting lineup for tomorrow? I'll reveal mine in a minute.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just along the same lines as Johnny. I don't think Mari will start. We seem to have this thing about playing players 2 games a week. They can't seem to handle it. So what I reckon he's going to do, I think he will revert back to Mustafi and Luiz at the back. I think he'll play Bellerin, which I don't agree with at all, but I think he will do that. Saka will be at left back. Now, because of Torreira, I reckon I think he's going to go Xhaka and Ceballos in the middle. I think Ozil's going to play again. You know my thoughts on that. I think once again he's going to have Aubameyang on the flank, Nketiah up front, and Pepe on the right. So there's not much has changed really from the last game, the last Premier League game.
Okay, I unfortunately probably agree with you guys.
Sorry to thinking about what Johnny says. He's got a good point because Mustafi has played well, and it would be hard to leave him out. So, yeah, you probably got that one right. Or maybe I got that one wrong. Maybe he will. He might play Mustafi and Mari, but will he drop Luiz? No, I don't see that.
No.
So I think that could be it. You could be right, John. I've got a feeling you're going to be right on that one. I didn't think about that because Mustafi has, because I know he didn't play the other night, but he has been playing well, and it'd be a bit hard for him to drop him now while he's playing well. But anyway,
so Claude's already changing your mind, Claude, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking straight there because when you think about it, is he going to drop Mustafi because Mustafi has been playing well? But then you don't know. We will see. But I don't think I'll be far away on that lineup anyway.
Do you know what?
I don't think Mustafi's too far short of being dropped. I think one slip up by Mustafi and Mari's in 100%. So I think Mustafi is on his last legs at Arsenal, and that's why one, he's playing well, and two, Arteta's spending a lot of time with him. It looks that way anyway.
See, I don't, we're pretty similar in our lineups. I mean, let's face it, there's not really much he can do. I mean, he's lost Torreira, so we know that's not happening, and he's historically gone with Xhaka and Ceballos over the last few games, so that's more than likely. I prefer that to Guendouzi and Xhaka because I don't think Guendouzi's got enough creativity, and then you just got two guys going side to side. So, but I would like to see Mari start. To be honest with you, I don't think there's much time for sentiment right now. I mean, it's a crucial time. Although, yes, I agree with you boys. Mustafi has been playing well. My gut says he's going to go Bellerin, Mustafi, Luiz, and Saka. I think Tierney is almost back, but he's not quite ready. And Cedric's almost back as well, which I like to see Bellerin get some sort of competition because personally, I don't think he's been playing great. So we're going to go Ceballos and Xhaka. I agree with you on that. I would prefer for him to go with Uber in the middle, Aubameyang, rather than Eddie. I think it's time to put him where he's most deadly and give him service from the flanks. Go Martinelli and Pepe. That's what I would like because to get the best out of Aubameyang, you need service, and his best position is in that box. So, personally, I'd like to go Martinelli with the energy and Pepe and get those balls in the box and knowing that Aubameyang's going to be in there. I expect Lacazette to be dropped. He hasn't been playing great. So, we're all pretty much similar. So, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's all about the performance tomorrow. And I don't think we could take this lightly because West Ham, although all the results haven't gone their way, and they've had a tough run. If you think about it, they had Liverpool at home. If you look at the last five, Man City away. The Brighton one was a bit of a shocker. It was 3-3 at home. But Issa Diop seems to be in a run of form. He scored quite a few times over the last 5 games. And the Liverpool game, we could argue that they were very unlucky. Fabianski.
Yeah, they should have won that.
They should have won that. Again, Issa Diop on the score sheet. And then they had a nice 3-1 win against Southampton at home. So, I mean, obviously, we're at home. We're expected to win. But, Claude, what do you expect to see tomorrow? And what do you think we're going to be coming up with performance-wise?
Well, you don't know what to expect. I mean, the Everton game, we looked for, although we won the game, I thought we looked a bit dodgy. Still, the old mistakes were coming back. Olympiacos was a complete no-show. The Portsmouth game, I don't think we played that great, but the opposition were so poor that we got over the line. So I'm hoping that we can get back to what we were before the Everton game and get back to that sort of form. With West Ham, we don't know what sort of to see. The problem with West Ham is you don't know what sort of West Ham is going to turn up. If they turn up and play like they can, what they're capable of playing like, they could cause us a lot of problems. But they can also be a very funny side. They can be really completely hopeless. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, they've
It all
definitely
depends,
got
really.
goals in them, haven't they? They've definitely got goals in them, and they've got physicality.
God.
I'm worried about Antonio against Bellerin, for example. He's a very physical player, isn't he? So, I mean, someone mentioned that in our chat. Yeah, I mean, and aerial-wise, I think we struggle a bit as well, as we've seen in the last few games. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. It depends on which type of West Ham turn up tomorrow. What's your prediction? What do you reckon, results-wise?
I think we'll win. I think we will win because I've just got. I think. Having said that, I mean, I think we'll win, but it's a difficult one to predict because they were 2-1 up against Liverpool with about 20 minutes to go. So and they were playing really well. You know what I mean? And Liverpool are the best team in the country at the moment. So it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to be back to our best again. We can't play poorly and get away.
And let's not forget, it's a London derby as well, isn't it? It's a London derby. Let's not forget that as well. Anything can happen in a London derby.
Can I just answer this question here about someone said about the Claude and Ty show? It'll be back on next week. Unfortunately, I've been in bed for about 3 or 4 days, so that's why the show was postponed this week. So there's the answer.
Question is, Claude, who have you been in bed with?
I wish, yeah.
Well,
one boy.
After 3 days, he told her it's time to go.
That poor cow.
Yeah. Well,
treat her mean and all that.
We won't be discussing my love life on here, mate. Not that there is.
That's a Border Fans podcast. That one.
That's a whole different podcast entirely.
I think
listen. Sorry.
So, stop digressing, boys. Oi, leave it out. Yeah, they call him Popeye. Anyway, Claude, did you give me an actual scoreline? Put your neck on the block here.
My neck on the block. 2-1 to the Arsenal. 2-1.
I said 2-1. Neck. I said. Johnny, I'm going to ask you as well the same question, mate. Like, what you expect to see tomorrow and a result. But very quickly, I'll ask you this as well, mate. I'll put you in the firing line here. We're talking about the fact that Torreira's out at the moment, right? Maitland-Niles, isn't he in for a shout for that position? If there's ever a chance he's going to get, isn't it now?
I wanted to discuss this, but you're gone.
We do. Let's hold that. Shall we hold that now and then go round and then come back to it, shall we, boys? All right. So, Johnny, coming back to the original question, what do you expect to see tomorrow, and what do you think the result's going to be, mate?
Right, I'm a little bit more optimistic than my drinking buddy there on the left of me. I'm expecting Arsenal to absolutely wallop them tomorrow. I think they're going to be hungry. They're going to be hurting after the limit. And the thing is, Aubameyang's going to be pissed. And that man is going to want to prove his worth after. And a very, very, to me, he's a great striker. I think we're going to see an Aubameyang show tomorrow. I think Arsenal are going to win 4-0. I think Arsenal are going to come out. They know this is their chance for the Champions League. Let's be honest, they threw it away against Olympiacos, even though I do think a lot of praise should have been said to the Olympiacos manager because they weren't a better team, but he got his tactics spot on. Yeah, absolutely spot on, Olympiacos. But we were poor. But in my honest opinion, I think Arsenal are going to come out tomorrow and they are going to wipe the floor with them. And Aubameyang, he never played in the FA Cup. He's going to be hungry. We're going to be at home, and he's going to want to show the fans, look, come on, let's have it. So I'm very optimistic tomorrow. Very.
Give me a result, Johnny.
4-0.
4-0, yeah.
I'm going 4-0. I'm going a very, very angry, pissed off Aubameyang is going to be on fire tomorrow. And I love Aubameyang, and you can tell Aubameyang loves the club and he loves the fans. He's always smiling. That hurt him the other day. That really hurt him. And he's the sort of player who will dust himself off. They left him off against the Portsmouth game. Good idea by Arteta. I think he'll let him loose tomorrow, and I think he's going to be determined to make amends for that miss. Even though we shouldn't be too hard on him for the goals that he gets, I think he's going to go out for that. I think West Ham are in for a spanking tomorrow.
Fair enough, mate. I hope so, mate. I hope so. So, Diesel, same question to you, aka Blade Brown, according to some in the chat room.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm trying to think who that was. I saw a film called Class Act, which is the same Kid and Play from House Party, and there was a character in there called Blade Brown.
He could have been Dragon Breath. At least it's not Dragon Breath, mate.
So I'm hoping it's him. A quick shout out to Susie54, who said hello to all of us guys. My woman, my girl. Hello, Susie. Hope you're well. Yeah, regarding tomorrow, again, like you guys have said, it's a tricky one because West Ham tend to turn up right against the bigger teams. It's the smaller teams that they struggle with. West Ham are like if you could class them as a second team of mine, because I've got a soft spot for West Ham. My family are West Ham. But when you're on paper, I mean, they're 16th in the league table, right? On paper, you would look at it and think, we're at home. West Ham ain't great. We should, as Johnny said, we should be doing them 3 or 4-0. Right? I don't. One thing I disagree with Johnny on is they're going to be pissed off, angry. I don't see this Arsenal team, for me, don't show that. You know, I still look at them as weak. I'm not going to dig them out too much, but they're not a team for me. If it was the Arsenal of old and they took a loss, you know, that week later, Tony Adams will not have them having, you know, two losses on the spin. This Arsenal team, for me, just don't show it, right? So there's a little part of me that thinks we should win 2-3-1. But depending on, I reckon West Ham are going to turn up, and Moyes is going to be saying to them, don't forget what they done to us at our place, right? Arsenal hadn't won a game in God knows how long. They came to us and we gifted it to them. This time tomorrow, that's his team talk. Get in their faces, right? And if they do that, I worry a little bit. And I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. So I would say 1-1.
Ooh. Negative. Diesel. Blade Brown, mate. You do look a bit like Blade Brown, mate.
Who is that?
You do look a bit like him. He's a rapper.
Is he?
He's a rapper, mate. He's a rapper. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that.
He's
a handsome fella, not as handsome as you. He's not as handsome as you, Diesel. Good shout, boys. Good shout.
Who said that? I love you.
Yeah, and DS Intel said it. Archie's a regular. Nice to see you, Archie, as well. Archie's a regular. I recognise a few on here. Good to see you guys. So
cheers, guys.
we've got 2 of us saying it's going to be a win, and negative Diesel. Diesel's going for a 1-1 because he's family.
I'm a realist.
My God! Oh, not another realist. All right. Anyway, with regards to myself, do you know what, guys? At Emirates, I'm pretty confident. I'm a bit, too positive sometimes, but I'm a bit like Johnny on this one. I think it's hurting them going out against Olympiacos. It's the way we went out as well. I think that's going to hurt the most. Let's face it, even though we can all say Olympiacos played really well, they were at their optimum and we were at, level 1, and we should have won still. So I am expecting Aubameyang to come out all guns blazing. I'm expecting us to know now that we've got no other choice or option but to go out and try and win every single game. And maybe, just maybe, that will suit us. So I would like to see Aubameyang in the middle. I think that will make all the difference. I don't like him being stuck out on the flank. I don't know any other team that puts their best striker on the wing. We seem to do that a lot. So I'm going to expect us to have a tough game, but I think we're going to start quickly and hopefully, I reckon I'm looking at a 2 or 3-1. I expect us to concede, and I hate saying that, but I do, because we have been conceding a few recently, if you look at it, and they're going to be physical up top. One thing we can expect is a lot of athleticism, physicality, and directness. And I think that's what we do struggle with, along with aerial balls and set pieces. I think that's everything we struggle with. But yeah, so I'm expecting 2 or 3-1. So I'm going to be positive and say that. So going back to the original question prior to, when we were sort of touching on it a minute ago, this midfield situation, Maitland-Niles, we've got a DM out at the moment. That DM role is surely up for grabs. We don't have a natural DM. Let's all face it, Xhaka is not a DM. What is Xhaka? We've always asked that question. He's not box to box. He's not a DM, but he likes to stick sort of at the back a little bit deeper, ping some balls. He annoys me quite a bit with side-to-side passing, so we're reliant heavily on Ceballos. But that DM role, who is going to grab that DM role now? Because you must be thinking now Torreira's out for the rest of the season if he's got a fracture. Unfortunately, that's the news. So do you, if you need a DM, push someone like Luiz into that DM role? Or do you, B, more likely bring someone else in? And isn't that Maitland-Niles' position? And there's question marks about his mentality and his attitude. Claude, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually think we do maybe bring in Luiz. That's a good option. We have got that option at centre half, haven't we? Let me get this up a minute. Sorry.
Hi, Terry, by the way. Good to see you here, mate. Your missus is going to leave you, mate. You're on a date or something, aren't you? And you're still watching the podcast. Get back to your loving.
Come on, man. Get back to the meatloaf.
Oh, that sounds wrong, Johnny.
Yes, sorry, I've got off the point a bit there.
Oh, it's not a nice.
Sorry.
Sorry, can we go back to what was the point again? Sorry, I've lost it between meatloaf and dinner dates. I don't know what I lost the subject.
And your sex life.
I was going to say,
which is non-existent unless your right hand comes into it.
Hello,
Rita. Rita.
We're now, come on, let's be serious now. So this is a podcast. Now, what was we saying this? I got lost there. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the DM role. It's up for grabs. Do we push someone from centre back? The only person I can think of doing it is Luiz, because he has got the footballing capabilities. And one thing we do know is he's a good footballer. He can pass the ball around. Do we, now we've got our centre backs coming back and you've got Mari coming back, do we, when we need the DM, push Luiz forward? Or do we now give Maitland-Niles his chance? But there's question marks about Maitland-Niles' attitude and mentality at the moment. That was the question. What do we do?
That's a great shout. That's a great shout, because we've got options now at the back, haven't we? I don't think this Cedric is going to be there until the end of the season, so I don't know why we bothered getting him. But we have got different options, and we can play and move Luiz. But why not put Maitland-Niles there? Yeah, you're right. Could do that. I just feel Ceballos. I think he'll play Ceballos and Shaq. There's no balance there. It's too loose if we haven't got the ball, and it could cause us a lot of problems. So, yeah, maybe we'll see. It'd be interesting to see what selection he'll come up with tomorrow. You don't know, do you? He might actually do that. He might actually push Luiz up and play Mustafi and Mari at the back. That's another option he's got, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, and the other conundrum is what happens when Tierney is fully fit. We've been going on about this for a little while. So I mean, does he push Saka forward because that's his natural position and bring Tierney in? I personally think Tierney is an out-and-out defender. I think you will make us more solid, and then just let Saka do his thing up top.
It would, because the Saka can also also cover back, so they can alternate as well. So it's a great combination down that side. But where does that leave Martinelli then? Does that mean that Martinelli doesn't play with? I don't know. It depends. I don't know how Arteta will look at that. But that's a good option to have, because it'll make us a lot stronger defensively and going forward at the same time.
Yeah, thanks, Claude. I mean, you guys at home who are watching at the moment, let us know your thoughts. What should he do? When Tierney comes back, should Tierney come in, Saka be pushed forward? Should Ainsley Maitland-Niles be given his opportunity? Do you think Luiz can play that DM role and we push another centre-back in his position? Let us know your thoughts, guys. Johnny, your thoughts on that subject. And let's touch on Maitland-Niles, that position, that DM role. Do you go Luiz? And let's get more into this whole Maitland-Niles story, because obviously there was some concern with some of us wondering what had happened to Maitland-Niles. Because let's be honest here, right? Up until recently, till Bellerin come back, as far as I was concerned, Maitland-Niles' performances were good. In fact, I would say he got to a point where he was more solid than Bellerin. So what has happened? We were all wondering that, and now there's mutterings, and Arteta's come out about Maitland-Niles' attitude. Is it time for him to grab that opportunity? Will Arteta give it to him, or would he look at alternatives like Louise? What's your thoughts?
I think personally, by the sounds of what I'm hearing, but it's, again, let's be honest, we're a guys on a podcast. It's all guesswork evidence. So what we say. But at the end of the day, I personally, if I was Arteta, I would play David Luiz in that position. He's a better footballer. Yeah, he's not younger, but I'd have them Mari and Mustafi. It sounds like Maitland-Niles is not getting on with Arteta. Arteta won't take any bullshit, and we need that from a manager. But let's not forget also when Maitland-Niles did play, maybe not ourselves, but he also had some bad performances in that position. Was it last season or season before? So he's played better as a fullback, in my opinion, as we know. But that's just not his position. I honestly, hand on heart, don't think he's going to make it at Arsenal. I really don't. I don't, and I don't think Rob Holding's going to make it at Arsenal either. I really don't. There are two players that a lot of people have said about and spoke about, but I really don't think. And it's just an opinion. I've heard the lad's attitude stinks bad, really bad. But I don't
Maitland-Niles is
bad, very
really
bad. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Whether it's true or not, you don't know. He could be the nicest bloke in the world. Do you know what I mean? The bloke who's made the rumour, he could be the nice. You just don't know. But footballing wise, I've seen him being ripped apart by certain, like Guendouzi has. I honestly don't think Maitland-Niles and Rob Holding, I think they'll be on their way out soon.
Wow. I mean, I thought maybe his experience playing in that fullback position might have given him a bit more defensive awareness. He's got a lot of, he's got a lot of athleticism. He can get around quite a bit. He doesn't lack pace. I mean, to play fullback, you've got to have a bit about you, pace-wise.
He's a good player, mine, but it just seems every single manager, like Xhaka, every single manager seems to like Bellerin. Do you know what I mean? And that's the fact. And you've got Kieran Tierney to come back, as we say. There are some exciting times at Arsenal as well. Not massive, but, the players that are coming through. So, and you've got Smith Rowe doing well. I mean, he could end up coming back. So, and obviously you've got a transfer window for Arteta. So will he go out and buy someone for next season? But I honestly think Maitland-Niles is a no-go for Arsenal. I don't think he's going to make it.
Right, okay. Diesel, your thoughts, mate?
Right, yeah, this is very controversial subject, right? And this is why I said to you off camera I wanted to talk about it because, right, so these are my thoughts on Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Right, the pros are, I think he's our best right back. I would take him over Bellerin. And I thought he was playing really well then. I thought he was very unlucky to be dropped the minute Bellerin became fit. And all of a sudden, he's out of squads. So at first, I looked at it and I thought, Arteta, what are you doing? Right? What sort of reward is that? Then I heard about his attitude is shocking. And do you know what? In my head, I'm thinking, if that is true, and I think even Arteta came out and said he needs to be showing me a lot more than what he is. If that is true, and that's the reason why Arteta has dropped him from the squad, then do you know what? Fair play to him. Because for a long time, ever since George Graham days, right, players never crossed the line with George, right? George was the gaffer, right? What George said, you did. Then Wenger came along, totally different character, and there was a lot of us Arsenal fans, and let's have it right, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans have got short memories now, right? We were calling on Wenger to be tougher with his players because he was letting them get away with a lot. Now, all of a sudden, we've got a manager who's come in and said, no, if I don't see it in training and you're not showing me you want to be part of this, you're out. I know, I love that. I love that. Now, if the rumours are true, and I'm not saying they are, right, they're allegedly true, that his attitude stinks and he has come out in the past and said, I don't want to play at right back, it's not my position. As far as I'm concerned, right, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you're lucky to be at a club like this. Yes, you're an okay player, but for me, it's not just about how you play football on the pitch. It's your mentality, right? Your aptitude to the game, right? He came through the academy. He should, if that was me or most of us, play me in goal. I'm playing for Arsenal. Wow, I'll play anywhere you want. That's what I want to see. I want to see, especially from players who have come up through the academy. And you've got a player like him who's basically saying, I don't want to play there, I want to play here. Well, I'm sorry, you're at the Arsenal, right? We ain't no Mickey Mouse, back alley club. We're a massive club. You're lucky to be here. You're lucky to be part of it. You play where the manager tells you to play. And if you don't want to play there, as far as I'm concerned, see you later. So Arteta, well, if that is true, well done, and I'll back you for that.
You know what, Claude? Listen, guys, we could be being harsh here because it's we are talking about rumours here, and Arteta maybe he has made a mistake.
That's what I'm saying allegedly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying allegedly.
As a young lad, you do make mistakes. I've heard the same thing said about Guendouzi, but he's been playing. He's been bringing him back into the fold. I mean, I heard when they were in Dubai, he was taking his top off and running around and partying, and he got in a lot of trouble for it. But he seemed to be given, a second chance. So I think Arteta's the type of guy who's going to give him a second chance. I'm expecting him to give him that chance. And it can't be that bad because the lad was playing in a position that was totally not his position at all. And he got his head down and he performed very well for us. And, I'm looking at some of the comments here, and some people were saying that Bellerin, his pace has gone, etc. And an agreement that Maitland-Niles was more solid in that position. Diesel, you say the same. I saw the same. The question is, with regards to Bellerin, is has his pace gone for good? Because let's face it, technically, he's not the best of footballers and never has been. So, what used to get him out of trouble is not getting him out of trouble anymore. It looks physically weaker. So, is Arteta going to do something?
I think you've hit it on the head. That I don't think it's actually speed. I think the speed's still there. I think his confidence has gone through the injury, and I reckon he's just pacing it out. He's being careful. He's being cautious, which unfortunately you can't really do. I don't think a player of his age and how young and the injury he actually had will affect his speed. I think it's just basically a confidence booster from him, and he needs to get going. I think he's worried about impact again and being out when he's just got back. So much work was put into it. Thing is, Bellerin, excuse me, I've got Claude's. But he's he is hit and miss. I understand that at the club, but when he does play well, there must be something about him because all the managers seem to find the last three managers we've had all liked him. Do you know what I mean? They're all wanting him as a starter, so there's something going on there. But I don't think he's lost his speed. I think that's more of a precaution, but from a professional.
He's lost his. Come on, John. He's lost it.
I think he has. He's lost a yard or two. He's getting roasted. Yeah,
that could be the injury, and he's still getting over it. It was a bad injury. Yeah. It was a very, very bad injury.
But is he going to be the same? Because let's face it. Do you know what? With pacey players, hamstring injuries seem to be the one that causes them to lose their pace. Right? He's had an ACL, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have taken away his pace. But, it's more the stability of the knee rather than the pace, in my opinion. But, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But personally, I think Bellerin, if he doesn't buck up his ideas, he's a weak link right now.
The problem with
Lev, you're breaking up, mate.
Am I?
The problem with Bellerin is the only thing is it's not his speed for me. It's as you said, his actual play. He's very, like Kieran Gibbs was, one-dimensional. He has to get the ball on that foot. You know where Bellerin's going a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? That's his downside. I think he's got because I think he's still quick. But that's just my view.
Claude, is there enough creativity in that midfield right now? When I saw it the last game, we were struggling. It was side to side, back to front. There was a lot of good runs being made by the forwards in the first half, and they weren't getting the ball early enough. Is there enough creativity in that midfield right now?
He's frozen.
Claude, he's frozen. He's thinking about it. Give him a minute.
Yeah,
Claude, talk to me. Claude, he's not there.
Quicker than Bellerin then.
Joe, all three of you are freezing. Is it just me? Guys in the chat, are you seeing the same or?
Guys in the chat, are we frozen? Johnny, am I frozen?
No.
I think it's only Claude on Talk. So, Johnny, question to you, mate. Enough creativity in that midfield, mate?
Hold on. What's going on here? Whoa,
look at that. There he is.
This is like
he's back.
Prodigy concert.
So pretty.
Claude, question.
It's my end, boys. I've got technical problems here. Sorry.
He's got a problem with his end, boys. Claude.
Can't hear him.
Question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Can you hear me, Johnny?
I can hear you. I can hear Diesel. I can't hear Claude.
It's like a really bad version of the Brady Bunch, isn't it? The Brady Bunch.
Anyway, go on. What was you saying? Sorry, boys. I've got technical issues here. Sorry.
All right, Claude.
What's going on?
Okay, can you hear me, Claude? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
okay. Is there enough in that centre midfield, creativity-wise, at the moment? From what you've seen over the last couple of games, I'm a little bit concerned with that position, in the centre in particular.
Well, you think we're scoring goals? We've been scoring goals. What do you mean creativity? We have got creativity there.
In the midfield, do you think there's enough? Do you know when the backs to the wall? Like I see Xhaka a lot with that ball side to side. He doesn't.
I've got to say the Olympiacos game we lacked creativity, didn't we? Yeah, you've got a good point. I don't know what, but it's only that game. Before that, we was all right. We were we were scoring goals. I mean, the Everton game we scored 3, didn't we? And then it's that Olympiacos game, isn't it? That we lacked.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Xhaka doesn't release the ball soon enough, quick enough. He holds onto it too much. He slows the play down a lot.
Good point.
Claude, what do you reckon?
Our midfield is still not. It's not right. It's still not right. It needs a lot more to be done. I think in the summer we need. Sorry, hold on a minute. Let me get Johnny back in.
I didn't see that, Diesel. I didn't see anything, mate.
Right. Sorry.
Here he is.
Wants to be famous.
Yeah, he does. He's like his dad. I'll pass the question to Diesel. Diesel, do you reckon there's enough in that middle?
No, do you know what? I can't see for the life of me why I would put Ceballos in the number 10 role. I would try that. The thing is, Lev, right? It's not a case of so much we've got no creativity. I think it's the way we play, is it? The whole system. You know, when you that pass that Lewis made, a through ball, classy ball, brilliant for Aubameyang against who was it?
It was against Everton. It was poor defending. It was poor defending. There was on too much space there.
Yeah,
we've got to give that to.
But we saw that, and you know the amount of Arsenal fans, myself included, it was like, "Wow, what a pass! That was class. That was brilliant." But then we're looking at that thinking, because it's very rare. We don't pass forward. We don't have enough. You know, I don't know, like that aggression. You know, that forward passing aggression. Whereas years ago, that was standard. That was second nature. And I think
that's what I mean. That's what I mean,
mate. We hold on to the ball too long, don't we? We don't.
Yes. In the Olympiacos game, Diesel, right? I was there. I could clearly see in the first 20, 25 minutes, our forwards were making loads of runs. Ozil was making some great runs. Saka was making some great runs. Aubameyang, they were expecting to get that ball earlier than they were. But then it was being held back, and then they'd already made their run. So they'd have to come back on side. Then Xhaka's passed it back to the side. And then he's passed it to Ceballos, then it goes again, and eventually the runs stop. So unless the ball's expected by that forward line, the runs eventually stop. They dry up, and that's what I'm saying. Do we have that quickness of thought and creativity in that middle to get the best out of the forwards?
Yeah, we don't because we don't have the players. In my opinion, I don't think they're good enough. Right? Bear in mind, Arteta worked under Wenger. Right? He would have learned a lot of Wenger, the training methods. The little drills in training. Then he's gone to Man City. The amount he must have learned under Pep. I don't think it's so much Arteta. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at this team. What he wants to implement, I don't think we have the players to do that. And like I've said on previous podcasts, if you gave Arteta a blank canvas, I think he would do bits at this club. It's just the players. He doesn't have the players. But we're too slow. It's very laboured. We're not... we're used to the pass and move Arsenal, aren't we? And a lot of football is played off the ball, right? So I look at the players off the ball. They don't move enough, Lev. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just my opinion.
Johnny, what's your thoughts?
Well,
sorry, Claude.
It's all right. Go. Sorry, John.
No,
Go on. Go on. No, Karen, John. Sorry, mate.
That's all right, mate. Well, the only thing I will say, and I don't know if Diesel will agree with me or not, because Diesel's not a fan of the geezer, but I think what I'm talking is fact. It's a very, very rare occasion, and I agree with you two. The talent or the players that we have got, we do not create enough. But sadly, we rely on one man, and the only time we actually do create stuff is when he's playing well, and that is Mesut Ozil. And that is the sad thing, and that is the sad truth. That is why the expectancy level is so high because of the player. We're not getting the best out of Mesut Ozil. I like Mesut Ozil, but it seems like his days are done. Well, his best days are done anyway. And the problem is he turns up like, I don't know, 2 in 10, maybe. 2 games in 10, if that. As in a lot of really good performance, but he is your main creator, and he is the one that Wenger, maybe not so much Emery, Arteta are relying on. So basically, the only time Arsenal really create anything from midfield is when the Mesut Ozil show turns up. That is why we rely on Aubameyang so much, because there is nothing from midfield.
That's right. You're right. We don't get many goals from midfield either. I mean, you tell me how many goals have we scored from midfield? It is a lot of pressure on those on the front line.
Also with Ceballos, and I'm not. I hope I'm not being too hard. I hope I'm not. I'll tell you. I'll just go Diesel. What I was saying, mate. I'll just let you know. I was just saying that I totally agree with you when it comes to Mesut Ozil. But sadly, the only time we create anything from midfield is when that geezer turns up 1 in 10 or 1 in 11, which ain't good enough. So what I'm trying to say is there is no creativity from the midfield. You're right. And the only one who is capable, and that is when he does turn up, is Mesut Ozil. The problem with Ceballos for me is, and I don't know if he's a good player, maybe I'm judging him too early, but he just holds on to it too much and he goes side to side. And I like Ceballos, don't get me wrong, but I just think he holds on to that ball much too long. I'm going to say it, the player we miss dearly is the player we sold, and that is Aaron Ramsey.
Guys, all three of you are frozen. Is it? Am I the one who's got the issue?
No, mate, it's you. It's you. It's you, mate. You keep telling us
it's me.
Do you know what? I'm surprised to say this, Johnny, because I wasn't his biggest fan. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I wasn't Ramsey's biggest fan, and you know, he used to frustrate the hell out of me. But I mean, he was the only one that was willing to go and break the lines. Yeah, brought forward. And you know what I've noticed a lot is we're putting in some balls, and if the centre forwards are marked, and the defenders, the first line of attack runs in, the defenders cover that. It's very difficult to mark that ball in behind after, isn't it? But the problem is we don't have any midfielders breaking into the box last minute to latch onto those.
That's what I'm saying. I could not agree with you and Diesel anymore, because the fact is, I don't know if Claude agrees with me, but it is the Mesut Ozil show, sadly. Is we wait for this man to turn up, and when he does, that's when the creativity comes, but it doesn't come enough. I like Mesut Ozil, but the thing is, you could argue on Mesut Ozil all day. Is the team not good enough for Mesut Ozil, or is Mesut Ozil just not trying? There's so many factors with Mesut Ozil.
Yeah, I agree.
Go on, Claude.
I'm a big fan of Mesut Ozil. I love the player. I loved Mesut Ozil, but something ain't right, and I ain't got the answer.
But
so, Claude, what is the answer, Claude?
In Mesut's defence, is the movement around him good enough? That's what I'm trying to say. Is our movement? Is our movement around him good enough? That's what I'm saying. Is Aubameyang being wide rather than through the middle? Do you know what I'm saying? I wonder whether that's a big factor as well.
And that's I don't know.
Eh?
That's a great point, Claude.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a difficult one. Look, I don't think he's going to be here next season, and I think this is the position we need to look at. I'm hearing that Smith Rowe is a great prospect, but I still think he's too young to fit that role. But look, apparently he's really doing bits at Huddersfield at the moment. I don't know whether we need to buy another number 10 in that sort of a role next season and keep Smith Rowe as a squad as backup. I'll get Diesel back in 1 minute. but with Mesut Ozil, I think it's a lot of it. I think is I question also: is it the movement around him as well? Is it good enough? As I just said about with Aubameyang playing wide rather than playing down the middle, would that suit Ozil more? I don't know. There's a lot of things you've got to look at. I mean, I know.
Well, look,
one thing is for certain, and I know Diesel will agree on this one, and he don't like Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil was our hope. He was our creator. He is the man while we paid the big bucks. The problem is, as Diesel says, we rely on that man to turn up, and he is the creator. And it does happen, but just not enough. It happened at Leicester. But they're just not enough. And he is the main guy. He is probably the best creator in the midfield that we have, but he just doesn't show anymore. They're saying stop giving Ozil excuses. We're not giving Ozil excuses. We're talking facts. At the end of the day, Mesut Ozil was a great player. He's not the player he was, but also you've got to realise he came from Real Madrid. It's a different ball game. As Claude said, are the players around him as well?
Look at the players he had around him now. Look at the players he had around him at Real Madrid as well. Yeah, Chadwick, by the way, my friend Chadwick has come on. Nice to hear from you, Chadwick. It's not about giving Ozil excuses. It's just I'm trying to put another reason why maybe we're not seeing the best of him. But, mate, I think Diesel will agree with you, Chadwick, on this one.
This is why I think, boys. Sorry to interrupt, but this is why I think it's very important that we release the ball sooner when the guys do make the runs. Because they're making runs. I've seen it myself. I'm there. I see them making runs. How can you have Aubameyang, Pepe, and people like that, even Martinelli or whatever, up in the front three and not pick them out when they're making runs? There's a problem between that centre midfield area and the forward line. It seems to we should be getting more out of that. We're all saying there's not, he doesn't have the players, but come on. A lot of teams would want that front three that we've got. So it can't be the front three. There's got to be something else.
There's another option I'm thinking about. It. Another option is playing Pepe in the number 10 role. Would that work? I wonder if that would work.
Well, he'll be more central, wouldn't he? He wouldn't have to keep cutting in on that left. What do you reckon, Diesel? Now you're back, we'll give you some airtime.
I'm starting to feel a bit lonely, boys.
Is this when you tell us we're all frozen again, mate, and it's just you in there on your own?
Do you know what? I can't believe it. I went frozen at the very time. Like my favourite subject was being.
Oh, we've moved on from the Ozil subject now, mate.
I'm fuming. No, what our front three?
I'm just saying. We're saying, it's not. Maybe Ozil's not getting enough movement from that front three, but that front three, for me, a lot of teams would want that front three. Surely there's a problem between when we're releasing the ball and that front three. There's no synergy between midfield and the strikers at times.
But Lev, listen. Sorry, Deez.
Go on, mate.
What I'm trying to say, you're saying about the front three, but are those front three playing in the right positions? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's
why I think Aubameyang should be in the middle. Personally.
What do you think, Diesel, about Pepe playing in the number 10 role?
Listen, if it keeps Ozil out of the team, Claude, I'd play you in the number 10 role. To be honest, I genuinely, hand on heart, mean that, right? But Pepe, do you know what? I'd keep him where he is. I'm starting to see the player he was in France. I'm seeing flashes of it. I think next season is the season where he's really going to hit it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Our problem is, and I don't know any other team who's as bad at this as what we are, we have too many square pegs in round holes, right? And it doesn't work. Aubameyang, name me a club who wouldn't take Aubameyang. He's a banger. And yet to accommodate Lacazette, now it's Nketiah, but mostly it's Lacazette. To accommodate a player who doesn't even score anywhere near the amount of goals Aubameyang does, we're shifting Aubameyang out to the left. And I don't know any other big club, shall I say, who would do that.
Yeah, I agree.
And this man, right, plays on the left, which is alien to him. if we're honest. It's not his position. He still gets 20, 25 goals a season. And my logic is put him in his correct position. Then if he can get 20, 25 goals from the left in his proper position, surely he'd get if the same, if not more.
Diesel,
So
do you think what they might be doing with it? I'm just a question. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, sadly, on Aubameyang, they're putting him in double shift? What he's saying is that he's that good. We will get more from Aubameyang on that left and cutting in and goals, because whoever would go left, we ain't getting the same player. Do you understand what I mean by that with Aubameyang? Are we getting, like, you know, double the value for Aubameyang? Is he playing both roles better than the individual that would play wide? And he's thinking, well, we just need him to work harder, play from the left and score our goals, because he hasn't got confidence in the individual that he would stick on the left and play Aubameyang up front on his own.
But if that's the case, that is a damning indictment of the squad that we've got. You know, we have got players who can play there. You know what I mean? Martinelli, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He was doing, he was playing some really good games from the left. So keep him there. You know, he's in form. He's scoring goals. He's work rate.
I tend to agree with you on that, Diesel. Yeah. I mean, you know, the solve the problem. Firstly, we know Martinelli's got an engine. He'll get up and down all day long. We know that it gives him a chance he's a striker by trade. That's apparently his position. We know that, but it's a good learning curve for him on the wing to see the runs that Aubameyang makes, to know what sort of balls to put in for him, etc. He can still score goals. So why don't you just play Aubameyang in that middle and just give him service from either side? That's what we've been saying. If anything, the conundrum is more the left back situation when Tierney returns. So why are you complicating the centre forward position? That's one thing that does stand out for me. You know, you wouldn't get Aguero being played out wide, would you? Or, you know, any top striker, Lewandowski at Bayern Munich being played out on the wing. Why have we got a world-class player, a striker, and we're playing him out wide? Don't make sense, does it?
I totally agree with you two, but what confuses me is why all three managers did it. Because they've all done it. Arteta's done it. Wenger did it. You know, and Emery done it. So what are they seeing that we're not? That's the question. Because I don't get it. But it's just, are they seeing something there from Aubameyang more? I don't know.
Question in from Raphael McCulley, super chat, £5. Thanks a lot, mate, for that donation.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what do you think the score will be tomorrow? So Claude went with, what was your score line, Claude?
2-1 Arsenal. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Optimistic Diesel went 1-1. Super optimistic Johnny Buttons went, was it 4-0?
It was 4-0, my friend, yeah.
Yeah, and I've gone 3-1. So there you go, Raphael. That's your question answered there, mate.
Thank you very much, Raphael, and thanks for your donation, by the way. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
There's a lot of things going on in the chat. A lot of people are confused by this whole thing. Look, let's keep it to the game tomorrow. We look on a positive note, lads, right? Although we're questioning a lot, and that's what football's all about. You know, we have got questions. Arteta hasn't got all the answers yet, as of yet, and we won't see all the answers from him until he has that transfer window or two. So, you know, he's got a few conundrums. How he works that out is going to be interesting along the rest of the season. I think the big issue for us right now is that DM role. We had one natural DM and he's out now. So I'm going to be interested to see how he deals with that. But look, on a positive note, we're in this, boys. Like, you know, if we win tomorrow, we're not far off the top 4 or 5, are we? Let's be honest here. If we can put a run together, the dodgy one is the City game that's been given to us after on the 11th at short notice. So that's going to bring a lot out in the wash, I reckon. If we perform well there, if we can get a result, then it could give us some confidence. So that's going to be interesting. But let's get tomorrow out of the way. We're going to be positive and say we're going to win tomorrow, and then we'll take the next game. And we've got to watch along with the Man City game, I believe. So please tune in for that. Yeah. So here's one off the, a bit of a curveball for you guys, right? I mean, it's not an Arsenal subject.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to see predictions of the other games over the weekend. Let's look at the other games of the weekend, and I want to see your predictions Right. First
Joe.
of all, Liverpool lunchtime kickoff against Bournemouth.
Do you want me to go first, Claude?
Yeah. Sorry
Okay, mate. I expect that to be a very, a workmanlike performance by Liverpool. They've had a couple of dodgy games. They're expecting to get back on track. It's a chance for them at Anfield to get a result and show they're back on track. So I expect quite a comfortable win there.
I'm going
2-0.
2-0. Johnny?
I think they'll spank them. I think Liverpool will absolutely crush them tomorrow. I'm going to go 5-0.
Bloody hell, Johnny's full of goals today, isn't he?
His missus today.
His missus is away. His missus is away, and he's out to play, isn't he? Look at
Where's the meatloaf?
Johnny's had some meatloaf.
Hey, he's had more than meatloaf, mate.
Insane.
Oh dear.
I actually do agree with you, Johnny. I think they're at home. Now what you said earlier on about the Arsenal being wounded and upset. I look at Liverpool and think, you know what, that is a team who I would expect to be hurt, upset, and they're in front of their fans. They're going to want to, and it's Bournemouth. With all due respect, right? They need to get back to winning ways. And do you know what? Make no mistake, Klopp will have them in line for tomorrow, right? Make no mistake about that. So I agree with you. I think Bournemouth will score though. I'd say 4-1.
Would you reckon Bournemouth score first and then piss them off, and then they'll score loads?
No, I think Liverpool score first.
Yeah?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Wolves against Brighton, boys. This is a tough one to call, isn't it? Wolves against Brighton, because Brighton are quite a good team away from home. I'm going to go 2-0 to Wolves, though. What about you, Lev?
3-0 Wolves. I expect them to carry on, unfortunately.
Johnny?
I'll go 2-0 Wolves.
And Diesel?
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1 Wolves.
Right. And I'm going to pick one out from Sunday. Big game. Manchester United against where is it? Old Trafford or Man City? 1 minute, let's have a look in. Manchester United versus Manchester City. I think it's if I'm not being mistaken, I think it's at Man City. Or was it Man United? Hold on, let me find
I think it's at City's ground, isn't it? It's at the City ground, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Etihad.
Anyone in the chat? Is it the City ground?
Let me find out. I'm just going to find out. I've got it up here somewhere.
Just while Claude's looking for that as well, there was that I wanted to touch upon with you guys.
Oh, Old Trafford, someone's saying. Hold on, Johnny. Someone's saying Old Trafford. Beatbox Dre, can you get a bit more positive, mate? Every time you're on here, you always miss the Beatbox neg. Good to see you, though. Sorry, Johnny. What was he saying?
That's right. I just wanted to say, because Diesel mentioned the name earlier, I'm very, very... I think we've got a major player in Pepe. I think he's going to be a very, very good player for Arsenal. And I love his work rate. He's defending more. He's coming back. He's attacking. He's got so much skill. I think he's going to be a good player for Arsenal. Very, very big figure next season.
It's at Old Trafford, Claude.
It's at Old Trafford, yeah. Sorry. They played earlier in the season. It was at Man City, wasn't it? So, yeah, it's at Old Trafford. This is an interesting one. The Manchester derby.
United doing a bit of form.
Man City. I'm gonna go for a surprise here. I think Man United are playing really well at the moment, and I'm gonna say that they're gonna beat Man City. I think that because I think City have now know they can't win the league. I think they're more into the Champions League. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Manchester United. There we go.
All right. Well, firstly, I thought Gaddafi. I knew Gaddafi hadn't died. Gaddafi's in our chat room, lads. So nice to join us, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a Gooner. Gaddafi's a Gooner, and he's I'm a conspiracy theorist. He's still alive. He's in our chat room. There you go. Tupac's in next.
Only God can judge me.
Mate, we got them all coming on our show. Don't you worry.
Did I mention?
You know
did
what?
I mention T-Rex?
T-Rex. Oh yeah. Mate, do you know what? I want City to do us a favour because let's face it, they're too far ahead for us, and Man United are the ones that we could catch. So personally, I'm hoping my heart wants a City win, but my head is saying a draw because it's a Manchester derby. I don't think City want to lose. They are without Laporte at the back, which is a big blow for them.
No De Bruyne. I don't think De Bruyne is out.
Yeah, Laporte is a big loss for them because
Yeah.
they're a better team with him at the back, and they seem to be doing well. He should be back for the Champions League, I think, but he's out for a few weeks with a hamstring problem, so that's a big loss. So I'm gonna go optimistically with 2-2. The Desmond. There you go.
Diesel, what did you?
Claude, I agree with you. I think United are going to do them 2-1. I think they're in form. They're at home. Fernandes has made a big difference to him since he's arrived. I can't even lie about that. I think he'll pull the strings on Sunday. And do you know what? Man City, even at their best, they've not been on it this season. I know, obviously, I think, as you said, Lev, Laporte is a massive miss for them. Massive, because there's no other defender in their back line who I'd look at and think, yeah, he's class. He's a massive cog in the way that they play. I just think
because they use Fernandinho at the back sometimes, don't they? It's just not the same, is it?
It's not the same, although he has played well there. But he's not. Again, it's a square peg around. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But I've just got a feeling United. I think they've got the momentum, and I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they'll do them 2-1. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that, boys. I don't want to hear that.
Can I ask you, Johnny? Johnny, what did you say?
No, I didn't. Well, I'll be honest. I think the result. I mean, I'm high as a kite. I've been on the meatloaf tonight, so I'm going to go for. I'm going to go. I'm going. Man, I actually think Man United are the great pretenders. I don't think they're a good side at all, and they've had 15 or 16 penalties this season. Incredibly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm not a fan of United. I don't think they play good football. I think Man City are going to beat them quite comfortably tomorrow 2-0. Sunday 2-0.
Well, I
don't like Man United. I don't think they're that good. I really don't.
I mean, it's going to be their first big test, isn't it?
At the moment, they are the form team. They are the form team at the moment. I know what you're saying. I actually think Arsenal going to Man City on Wednesday. I think this is a good time for Arsenal to go to Man City. Everyone is saying it's not a good time to go, but I think it's not a bad time to go to Man City at the moment because I don't think they're firing on all cylinders at the moment, Man City, and I get that feeling that they could slip up on Sunday and possibly Arsenal might get something on Wednesday night, and at the Etihad. Who knows?
Well, the thing is, if we beat West Ham on Saturday, Claude, and we turn over Man City on Wednesday, us guys have got to start believing now, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
It's a crucial time for us, and unfortunately, losing Torreira at a bad time, isn't it? We could have done with him in the away games. But look, I mean, we are in it, so let's get behind the team, boys, and see what happens. But going off topic a little bit with regards to this game, then we've pretty much covered everything. We're all hoping we win tomorrow, and we've done our predictions for all the other games, boys. This story with our man from Spurs, Mr. Dyer. The rumours were that he saw something going on in the crowd, something to do with his brother. I initially heard it was some racist abuse towards Gedson, but then it transpired further down the line, as with a bit of Chinese whispers, transpired further down the line that he had jumped over the barriers into the stadium to confront someone that was doing something to his brother. Now, what are your thoughts on this, boys? Because, the closest thing I've seen to that was Eric Cantona when he was at United. But obviously that was a lot more vicious, wasn't it? if you did something like that today, you'd probably be a lifetime ban. Don't know how he got away with that. So, what are your thoughts on this, lad?
He should have got a key to the city.
Well, here's where I stand. Right?
Go.
He's human. He's human. Yeah. All this about he's a professional footballer. To me, no, he's human like the rest of us. And if you see your brother getting attacked, your instinct is to go and help him. I'm sorry, and I have sympathy here on this. Not because and it's a Tottenham player with people say do this, do that, but I'm going to be real. I'm going to talk as
a realist,
with no bias to anything, with nothing, no bias. And for me, if that's one of my family getting attacked, my instinct is to go and help. Them, right? And because you don't know what that guy could have had a knife, he could have had anything on him. You know.
See, there's a few people in the chat, sorry to interrupt, Claude, saying let's not talk about the scum. And trust me, the last thing we want to do is talk about Spurs. I am not talking about Spurs. I'm not talking about Spurs. Yeah, we're talking about the human perspective. I'm
looking at the human element. It's very easy for people to say you should be professional and do this and that. Yeah. And now the police are now apparently are getting involved in this now. I wish they'd get involved down my road where people are getting stabbed in the middle of the night here.
Right behind you there, Claude. Are they right?
No, just talking about outside my place here on Finchley Park.
Claude living in the ghetto. Very quickly, sorry to interrupt, boys. Yeah. Shaheen Shamanzar, one of the Bansters himself, says, great show, guys. Hopefully 3 points against West Ham. I would have done same as Dyer. Thank you for that, Shaheen. That's what we're talking about, lads. This is not just about the football element. We'll just put that aside. We're all human beings. The mental element here. We saw the situation with Jesse Lingard yesterday getting terrible abuse, right? Listen, just because they're footballers, it doesn't mean they're not human beings. You've got celebrities that have killed themselves and are going through mental turmoil. So let's look at them as humans for a minute. Dire situation. Diesel, talk to me. What do you think, mate?
Right. So basically,
before you go, Diesel, thank you for that, Shaheen. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Shaheen. Yeah. Sorry, Diesel. Go ahead.
I can't get that in bit like you, Glenn. Yeah. So basically, on the right. So I tweeted out. At first, I was told of, the rumours that were going around was there was a certain fan there was being, making racist remarks to that Jedson Fernandez, right? So I sent a tweet out and I basically said, if that is true, I don't care if he's a Spurs player or not. If that is true and he's gone up there, right, to confront him over a racist remark, I will back Eric Dyer 100%. I don't care who he plays for, right? If it's true. Right, because I'm sick and tired of seeing players doing nothing, right, when things like that happen on the pitch. At least he went to do something. I totally agree. However, you have to look at it on the flip side as well, and I get why a lot of people are saying, look, he shouldn't have done it. Yes, his brother's. I look at it like this, Lev. You have to. Yes, we go down the route of saying that he's a professional football player, right? My only thing with that is me being a father, right? There's kids there. Now, I look at it and I think to myself, do you know what? If there were kids around there, bear in mind, Eric Dyer must have went up 20 rows, right, just to get to this bloke. Now,
it's the most running he did all game.
It was, right? And to be fair, I thought he played all right in that game. But what I would say, my only thing about it is that these guys are paid a lot of money. I get the fact that, they're human beings and all of that. But with that money, with that profile, right? You live in the life that most of us would love to live. However, that comes with certain sacrifices. And one of those is to remain professional no matter what, right? I get that. There are kids there. If Eric Dyer had got to the guy and the massive brawl ensued, someone fell down the row or someone got seriously hurt or even killed, then I guarantee you now this conversation would be completely different. Guarantee it, right? So what I'm saying is, him doing that after a loss, now a lot of the Tottenham fans are hurting after that. You never know. That could have caused an absolute riot, right? So on the one hand, if me personally, if that was me, I'm not in that professional whatever. If that was me, I would have done the same thing as him. Half of me agrees with it. That's his brother. That's his blood. You look after your own. But on the flip side of it, if you're looking at it from his profession and obviously what he's taught to do and not do, then it's one of those, isn't it?
Sorry,
It's one of
Diesel,
those.
but Johnny's putting me off. I think he's got the peanut butter out again. Look, boys, this is the way I see it as well. I kind of agree with you, Diesel, because it could have got out of hand, but he was running into his own fans, right? Firstly, okay, so I can't imagine anyone would have gone mental at one of their own players. I mean, can you imagine if it was one of our players going into our fans? I don't think they would have all jumped in. It would have all kicked off. I do think we've got to start looking at things as humans a lot better. I mean, all right, yes, they're players. Yes, we don't like them sometimes. Yes, I've got players that frustrate the hell out of me. But for me, there's a line. And when I saw what Lingard was getting to say, I mean, I think Gaddafi said here, and being a dictator, you'd expect it a little bit, that Lingard deserved it. Then obviously, there's others that are saying Dyer, they would have done the same thing. If it was a family member, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because when you look up into that stand, and if it was your brother and you saw someone attacking your brother, I think all other things go out the window. You don't think I'm a footballer, I'm on a contract. You just think as a family member, no matter what job you're doing, at the end of the day, that's a family member. So if that's what's happened, I can understand it, and I think it's just got to be drawn a line under it. Just say, whatever's happened, and just move on from it. But we've got a responsibility as fans to just have a line that you don't go beyond. Even on social media, even on Twitter, you don't like someone, don't watch them. If you don't like someone, just you don't have to go beyond that line. It's at the end of the day, guys. It's not reality. It's just sport. Is just sport. Social media is just social media. It's not real. It's just entertainment and something that's past our times. We shouldn't be going past that line. So for me, although he's a spud, I can't stand Spurs, and I don't need an excuse to attack them. If the story is true and he was going in to save his brother, I think we've just got to say we'd all would have done it and just move on from it.
Yeah.
No, so that's where I think we'll leave it there. In my opinion, we're looking forward to the game tomorrow. That's the most important thing is our results tomorrow. Let's not focus on anybody else. We need to win tomorrow. Then we need to go and beat City tomorrow. So let's follow the team. With regards to, I've had a few people in the chat room asking about our next podcast with Boardroom Bants as well. A lot of you said you enjoyed the music one. We've got something coming up. Sorry, go on, Johnny. Go ahead, mate.
P.S. Ask me what I think about Dyer. Feel free.
No, mate, I'm not going to ask you. You say no. Go on, Johnny.
We don't need to ask you, Johnny, because you agree with me.
I was joking, Johnny. You got me sidetracked with a dog and the peanut butter story, mate. Sorry. Go ahead, Johnny. I didn't mean to leave you out.
She likes extra crunchy, so she's been a good girl.
Anyway.
Listen, I love my dog. I'm such a sap, mate.
We can tell.
You know what worries me, Diesel, is when he keeps doing this. He comes out and he keeps doing that.
Right down to the tail, mate.
Right
But no, jokes. No, I was only joking.
Sorry, Johnny, I didn't mean to miss you out. Dyer, what's your thoughts on it?
We'll move on from that, mate.
No. Go on, mate. I want to hear
Claude's cracking up. Look.
Gaddafi, yes, we do have a channel. I'll come back to you on that in a minute. But it's really, I don't want to upset my fellow Banster here. He's my Banster brother. Johnny, what do you think about the Dyer situation, mate? Please tell me.
Well, first of all, I thought Eric Cantona had big stones, and I love him, and he should have had a key to the city for kicking that fucking geezer. 100%.
I love that.
Right,
it's like watching Oasis on the football pitch, isn't it?
The only difference between me and Eric Dyer is I would have got there. So at the end of the day, I was proud of him. I don't like Tottenham. I bet it's got nothing to do with the chicken on the beach ball for me. Personally, it's got nothing to do with that shirt. It's the person. I've got a lot of respect for Eric Dyer now, to be honest. I don't care if he plays for Tottenham or not. At the end of the day, he saw what he saw. and he was going up there, and he didn't care, mate. Family first. He didn't care if he was a professional footballer or what. It's about your family, and that, as Claude said, he could have had a knife, could have had anything, and all these tweets going on. Oh, the Spurs do this, do that. If it was an Arsenal player, mate, they'd be sticking up for him left, right, and centre. So and also that's why I stick up for Granit Xhaka, because when Granit Xhaka did, I felt the abuse that he had on that show was terrible, absolutely terrible.
What's that noise? Sorry, Johnny. I think Diesel's taking off his nappy. Right. Look, end of the day, boys. We all end of the day, we're all in agreement with the Dyer situation. I can't respect him fully because he wears that top. He wears that top. So at the end of the day, I can't respect him fully. But he's not Kolasinac taking on Raiders and all that stuff. We've always got that man, but. He, you can understand why he did what he did. So going back to my original point, because I had to massage Johnny's ego, boardroom bants.
Yes, right, you do. Carry on, keep going.
Yeah, your dog's massaging your ego at the moment.
Enough, mate. You're coming round later.
Oh no!
No. All serious. You've got a big guest on Thursday, haven't you?
Thank you, Claude, for bringing me back on point here. Johnny keeps interrupting. Yes, we have got a big guest. Johnny, why don't you tell us about it? Because this is your little baby, this project. We did the music one on Thursday, which it was really popular, and I've had MJ and a few people asking about it. Gaddafi, we're on Boardroom Bounce. This is our channel. Johnny, tell them what's happening on Thursday at 7:30. It's every Thursday 7:30, by the way.
Well, to be fair, we've got more than that, haven't we? We've had some good news, considering we've only just started the show. We've got some really fun guests coming on. Really good. First of all, on Thursday, we've got a guy called from California. He's an indie film producer. He's done a couple of horror films as well. His name's Carl Hester, and I've seen some of his stuff now. It's not too bad. And we're doing like a top 10 horror films of all time. And Carl's going to come, and he's going to come on with us, talk about his film, how he got involved in producing. We're going to ask him a load of questions. And obviously, we'll see what films he likes. But also, it goes further. I mean, I spoke to John Chalice from Only Fools and Horses, Boise, and hopefully, and he's going to be doing a phone. I don't know how we're going to do it, but he said he'll do it by phone. So if we can put that with the podcast, I don't know if that can be done, or we do it from a studio.
I think we can find a way around that. I'm sure we can.
And we assure you it is John Chalice. It's not an impersonator on the phone. It's definitely John Chalice. He's on Johnny's Twitter page. You can see him there. He's left him messages before. Go on. Sorry, Johnny. To interrupt.
And then we've got, obviously not everyone will be familiar, but there's a big band called T-Rex from the 70s. I've not mentioned this before, but Daniel Z, he's the lead singer of T-Rex to see, so they are well known. They're on tour at the moment, but he'll be coming on the podcast chatting. And we've also got a guy called Mike, a good friend of mine who lives in New York, and he had a classroom they were called the Little Dragons to do with G, and he's a huge Bruce Lee fan. And I believe Lev actually knows someone regarding Bruce Lee as well, isn't it? Who's got a lot of
he's trained with Shaolin monks. He's very much into Bruce Lee. He's like a fifth or sixth fan. I don't know these things. I'm not going to pretend I do, but I'm a massive Bruce Lee fan. It's like a finger pointing all the way to the moon. So look, boys, we're going to be doing, and guys, we're going to be doing loads of different things on Boardroom Bounce. As you've seen, we're going to be doing stuff. We did music the other day, which was really popular. It was our top 5 albums. If you've missed that, subscribe on Boardroom Bounce and at Room Bounce on Twitter, and you'll get updates. We're going to be doing stuff with Only Fools and Horses. We're going to be doing darts specials because Johnny knows loads of darts legends. We're going to be doing. You have a few times, Johnny, yes. We're going to be doing more serious stuff as well, mental health related. We're going to be doing all different types of sports. So just, subscribe and you'll see, and we'll have a bit of laugh, a bit of a laugh like we're doing now. So it's at Boardroom Bants, or board at at Room Bants on Twitter and Boardroom Bants on YouTube. Subscribe and watch our channels every Thursday, 7:30, and we'll be doing once a month specials from a studio where we'll probably be doing challenges and all sorts. Anything else you want to fill us in with, Diesel, fellow Banster, and Johnny? Go on, Johnny.
Yes. Oh, go on. Go on, Johnny.
No, go on, Deez.
No, go on, Johnny.
Go on, John. I like to go last.
You know that. No, basically, as well, we've got another celebrity, one of our biggest guests that's going to be coming on. We haven't mentioned will be Claude, obviously.
Yeah.
Because Claude will be coming on to the boardroom.
I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a football fan.
You are in our hearts, mate. You are in our hearts.
Yeah, you are, Claude, in our eyes.
He's our biggest celeb.
And but no, it's gonna be good. And then, as I say, and hopefully the big one we're going to do in a couple of months is I think Lev's out of this one, but me and Diesel will be doing a Nordic walking, talking about all like camping and how you put tents up and stuff like that. So I'm
glamping
and scamping and all that sort of stuff. So that should be quite good. And Spring is very knowledgeable on it as well. So I can't wait to get Springer on that.
I heard you doing
Terry.
I heard you're doing a Train Spotter special as well. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Train Spotter.
That's the one you're on that one, Claude. You're on that one, Claude.
Life of a Train Spotter.
Terry rightfully said as well.
We go to cruise
Terry
station.
rightfully said Instagram, Boardroom Bants on Instagram as well. Sorry, Terry, forgot about that, mate. I'm a Gooner, Terry. Nice that you're tuning in. Diesel, what else, mate?
Right. Sorry, I need to do this. Unknown Driller, Archie, Daniel Sonhud, Neil Salzman, Francis King, Beatsbox, Stray Beats, Gaddafi, MJMC, Red Bull Vodka, Archie again, Terry, MJMC, all of you guys, Kesh, AFC, Stephen OT, Brad Kick. This will take me all night. Guys, listen, I just want to say, and everyone else who I've missed, we really appreciate all your comments, yeah, because sometimes when we're in the flow and we're talking about something we're passionate about, the Arsenal or whatever it is, sometimes these comments do go so quick and we do miss them, so apologies. I do it myself. I watch a podcast and I put a comment in. When they don't read it, I get extremely pissed off. So I am with you, lads. But guys, all joking aside, we really appreciate you watching and we appreciate your comments, yeah, and keep them coming, please.
Always appreciate.
Yeah.
Always appreciate. Without these guys, we wouldn't be able to broadcast. So it's brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah, let's see you boys on the other channel as well. Come across it. Keep coming. We like having banter with you boys, and the messages they put on are all positive. There's nothing nasty on there. We're all having a bit of banter. So we'd like to see you on the Boardroom Bands channel as well. Sorry, Claude, didn't mean to interrupt you, mate.
No, definitely, and I think it's really gonna. How can I say it? I really wish you boys the best with the channel. It's gonna really hit the high level. Let's hope, anyway.
Thank you.
Look at the comments. Look how nice they are. But been great tonight. You know.
Let me. The Millet 9257. It's nice hearing different opinions instead of just one. Stephen OT, been great tonight. Thank you. Solo Rider, enjoying the podcast.
My girl, Susie, come on, Susie.
Susie in the mofo house. Guys,
Diesel.
Thank you. Honestly, you know what? Go on.
Did you two also want to mention about the one-off special that we're doing for the hour on me?
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot about that, Johnny. We'll talk about that one later, mate. Yeah, offline. We've got special plans for you, mate.
We don't even need to retweet that because everyone's just.
Don't worry, Johnny. I've got plans for you on that one, mate. I promise.
I need you to go back how it started with a deflated basketball in a barn.
I still want to know how you got that bloody knighthood. Anyway, I still don't know how you got
Hold on. Can I ask a very quick question? And Claude, you're into all this stuff better more than me. Right. Someone keeps going on about a Turkish protest. I'm a Turk, by the way. I don't protest about anything apart from where the hell is my food. But Turkish protest. What's that all about? Where's the meatloaf? What's that all about, Claude? Where's the kebab? Where's my kebab?
Rum
sorry.
Barber. Where's me rum barber?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Look, guys. We bring it to an end, Lev.
I did try. All right, look, we're going to bring it to a close. Everyone, thank you for coming on. Follow us individually as well on Twitter at Lavanja. We've got Sir Johnny, aka Sensei Lee. I think is that Sensei Lee? Is that right? Asshole. And Diesel, 888 Diesel, and obviously we all know who the main man is, Claude. And Boardroom Bands, come follow us, boys. We'll see you on Thursday at 7:30, and we'll probably do something after the game for Claude. Claude's going to do something after the West Ham Arsenal game, I'm sure. So tune in, all right? And thanks for having us, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, everyone. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Thank you.
All the best.
All.